started the stream. I'm just waiting for verification. And we're live. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay, good. Audio sounds good. And let's roll in the video. Alright, so we are here today for ForkedBlock. We are looking at October 27th, which is what you see rolling in right now. This is in It is free attendance. And I'm rolling in right now. I am live here with Eric, also known as Superposition Manganaro.
Live.
And
we are live. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Twitch.
I am going to share also a very special guest. His name is Harris Levine, and he is going to show us exactly how we hack on Vyper and smart contracts. Harris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be speaking with you guys about Vyper tonight. So I guess I'll just dive right into it.
Hey,
Great.
better.
Right, so
Sounds great.
I know some of these gentlemen that I have with me tonight are definitely big fans of Vitalik Buterin. We're not sure if he's human or not, but regardless of that, he created the Vyper programming language, unlike Solidity. And so I think that makes it even more interesting to dive right into it. If Vitalik created it, I'm in. I don't know about you guys.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
definitely down with it.
I think I think we were talking about this earlier. If we have people who have a background in Python, they want to get into Ethereum development, it makes it really convenient. Even though, as I understand, Vyper doesn't have a lot going on with it in terms of like syntax. Like I know that.
Yeah, that definitely. So I'll dive into all of that. But to start off, like Eric just mentioned, Vyper is a great programming language if maybe you're not a programmer by trade, or you are a Python programmer, which there's lots of Python programmers out there. Python's a really easy language to pick up with little prior programming experience, and it's a very readable language as well. So even if you're not a programmer, you can probably read some Python code and still understand it, which is great.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'll just talk a little bit about Vyper. It's contract oriented, just like Solidity. So it has a similar sort of function in that sense. And it's meant to target the Ethereum virtual machine. So Solidity also interacts with the Ethereum virtual machine. I'll just give a real high-level overview. If you have an Ethereum smart contract, you would compile that smart contract down into EVM bytecode, and then that bytecode would be what the Ethereum compiler processes. Just in the same way you would have like Java virtual machine doing the compiling your high-level code into machine code. It's the same sort of concept. Did you want to butt in there, Eric?
Yeah, that really makes sense. I was wondering like exactly what goes into the process of compiling.
Perfect. And Vyper is still in its beta, so just use it carefully. It's not robust, and it could break. So I would just say be sure you know what you're doing with it. You can hack into it, and breaking things you'll learn something in the process. But like I said, it's in beta, so there's not a finished product at this point.
Can you check your DMs for me before? So let's see.
Yeah,
just keep it going.
You guys are
Keep
streaming
it
about
going.
Lamp.
Just heads up.
Lamp.
Okay.
So in that vein, Python is no, scratch that. Vyper, the two main tenets of Vyper is that it's simple and that it's secure. Solidity has a ton of problems with it, ranging from concatenating strings to certain reentrancy issues to everything under the sun. It's not a perfect language, and I don't know if any language really is. So Vyper was introduced by Vitalik to address some of the key problems with Solidity.
That's interesting.
And in doing so, it's very stripped down. So most of the main focuses of object-oriented languages, like inheritance or recursion and other things like this, are not present in Vyper. And the reasoning behind this is that none of these things are necessary in order to create a Turing-complete language, and these concepts actually introduce more security issues into the mix. And so if you want a smart contract to be as secure as possible due to the transfer of money facilitated by the platform, you really want to eliminate every security vector, every attack vector that's vulnerable in your system, which would be the programming language.
When you say attack vector,
yeah.
Maybe you should tell me what could be an attack vector?
Well, yeah, I mean, happening? If you let's say in Solidity, if you're writing a program and a simple attack vector, a real simple term without getting into real technicalities, would be maybe if you you know how Ethereum works with a public and a private key, and if you have the private key, you can spend and send the funds to wherever.
Say one more time.
Anyway, if you were to put your private key into a contract that's visible and transparent to the whole blockchain, that would be a very high level attack vector. Okay. I don't know of anybody that would be as dense as to do something like that. If you're at the point where you're coding a Solidity contract and excuse me.
All right, so yeah, we're.
Can you cut to you?
Yeah, we can minimize this out. Yeah, so just basic stuff here. If you look at the GitHub, it's an Ethereum supported project, correct, Eric? Like completely backed by Ethereum community, Vyper.
Yeah, it's been there for and there's actually what is the LLC, low level part of the system. There's been alternatives to Solidity from the beginning, and I think it caters to a lot of different Python. And then you have, I think Solidity is definitely way more Java-esque.
Okay.
The way that it's statically typed, the way that it manages state. And it's interesting that Python hasn't gotten as much love from the community yet.
Okay. Yeah.
I think earlier today, it's a future and release the Python Vyper documentation. It's actually pretty interesting.
Very cool. So, like, this is basically another option for you to be able to program, correct? Like, for instance, like
yeah, it's pretty cool because I do come a heavier background in Python rather than anything.
Hey, Bradley, we're live streaming, by the way.
Hey, look, it's Brad on the live stream.
Yeah. So
coming on in.
Yep. So one more thing.
Actually, this is the first time that we actually got really into we have it streaming to Facebook, Twitch, and where else are we streaming to?
Facebook, we're on Twitch, and YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah. We'll be adding more platforms as we kind of figure out, what we're doing.
Yeah, I've been really looking into caffeine.
Yeah, you're cutting up a little bit, man. One shameless plug, definitely check out Bitcoin Energy, Sheil, and Crypto Craig. I'm always drinking it. I got a bunch of cases here. We love those guys. They're pretty legit. It's good drink as well. I'm a big fan of it. Tastes well. And it keeps me up till 4 a.m., thank God, so I can continue to work.
It's actually, I have a bunch of cases sent here.
All right, sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, we're back. You know, I have a bunch of those cases.
Okay.
Some people really tweet out at Bitcoin Energy.
Trippy. Okay, here we go. I'm on you. So where we left off was...
Yeah, sorry about that. Go ahead. Where did we leave off?
Why the Vyper is important? Is Vyper important?
Yeah, so Vyper is important because the average person, the layperson, really can't understand Solidity, especially if you don't come from a programming background, or LAMP rather. And so, in the ecosystem of a digital financial system, you're gonna have a lot more people than only programmers reading and auditing these contracts, because when it comes down to it, a smart contract is really a contract between two entities in a system. And so like, these people are going to come from all different backgrounds. Not everybody's going to be a programmer, not everybody's going to be programming these contracts, but everybody does need money and finance. And so if you're a business owner, whatever you are, you don't have to be a programmer. You're going to need to understand, just like you can understand either a legal contract or and things like this.
All right, yeah, let's get juicy.
All right, awesome. So I figure it would be, I mean, we can start coding. I'm gonna say we should look at the crowdfund contract, and this simulates a Solidity crowdfund contract, so it might be helpful to look at the Solidity contract side by side, if I can get this cooking. So let's see here. Yeah, I mean, the crowdfunding contract is one of the simpler ones. If you think like a Patreon or GoFundMe sort of application, the crowdfunding contract is going to work a lot similar to something like that. So if we go into Open Zeppelin, crowd sale, we can find the crowd sale contract. And then here I have the Vyper contract. Okay, so I'll just go line by line explaining it, because we're not going to do any live coding at this juncture, but I don't think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the funders here. The funders consist of a sender, excuse me.
I'm going to pull up that code real quick. It looks interesting.
Yeah, can we take a break for our sponsors?
Who would you like to talk about?
I mean, like cut real quick.
How so? How so, Eric? What do you like me to do?
All right, I wish I could tell you guys what that call was about, but I don't think that would fit the stream very well.
All right.
So picking up where I left off, we have the sender here, which is tied to an address. Every sender needs an address, and we also have the value in way. So whenever a funder is gonna give their funds, there's the address of wherever the funds come from and also how much they sent. That's
okay.
Self-explanatory.
Cool.
Then we have the index of the next funder. So similar to Eric's blockchain, you need the index of, you need to tie the blocks together. You need to link the blocks together somehow, and that's what this index is for. We also have a beneficiary address, a deadline when the crowdfunding contract is over, a goal, which is the value in way. And I didn't mention way, but if you guys don't know what way is, it's a sub-component of Ether. You could type in a chart, or I could pull it up right now. But
could you actually make it a little bit bigger? I can't.
Yeah,
oh, for sure.
If you could zoom it in a little bit, that'd be
absolutely
great.
Absolutely, yeah. How about now?
Yeah, much better.
Oh yeah.
That's what.
Okay, great. So I can just type in charts of subunits Ether, and I think I should get what I'm looking for here. Hopefully.
No, Google image. You're gonna get us pulled. It's rolling the dice.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's probably,
never mind.
gotta be careful with that.
Never mind. We don't want Big Bad Google to come at us.
We'll be
We
good.
don't want Big Bad Google to come after us. So, okay, so starting at this dunder function right here, we have the init function, and there's a beneficiary with the address, a goal with the wave value, and also a time limit for when the crowdfunding contract ends. And all of these, we then call the self, we call all of these functions on the self method and set them equal to themselves, or in at least in beneficiary's case. For the deadline, we set it equal to the block timestamp plus whenever the contract is set to be elapsed. And then we, in a similar vein to beneficiary, we set the time limit equal to itself and the goal equal to itself. So, if you are familiar with Solidity contracts, there's different there's scope. I don't know what to call this, but anyway, there's variables you can initialize to define scope. So there's public.
Yeah, your public and private scope.
Here, external, etc.
Separation of
private,
concerns,
exactly.
I think, is what you're looking for. Correct, Eric?
Yeah, most definitely.
Separation of concerns.
Yeah, so this is public, so anybody can interact with whatever's inside of here. Basically, if you're not, if this was private, you would only be able to utilize the methods initialized in here from within this block of code. But since it's public, we can use it anywhere in this whole block of code. And we have a simple Pythonic. Oh, excuse me, I missed payable. So, again, in Solidity, if a contract is payable, it means you can. It means you can pay it. So, that's pretty simple as well. We have a method defined here, participate, and if it says, it asserts that if the block timestamp is less than the deadline, it will initialize the next funder index.
Okay.
And then additionally, in this line here, if you see, it sets the index that it just set to NFI.
Mm-hmm.
What it's doing here with the message.sender and the message.value is it basically makes whoever this sender is the owner in charge of the contract, so it'll give them abilities that people that weren't the owner would not have.
And
that's basically it correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the main purpose of message of the message class. I guess you would call it.
I don't believe you're wrong. The next funder index is really simple, right? So that's just to make sure that it's keeping track of which index point it's at, right? In like, who are we talking about? So like, it's increasing NFI +1 in this specific, if you go down, right? So that's just
I didn't even get there, but exactly. Yeah. So it's increasing it by 1 because each time a new funder comes into place, you need to increment it by 1.
Precisely. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't know if I was following along there. I just thought that.
Yeah, you skipped ahead. It's all good though. Yeah. So I'm going a little bit slow here. So anytime I see the message.sender, it's kind of goofy, but I always think of that thing in Minecraft when you have to like hit the thing back at the ghost, like return it back to sender. But anyway, I'm sure this is in another language too. The message function is also in other programming languages too, but I'm not like I don't have enough depth to let you guys know what language message comes from, but this concept exists in other languages as well.
For sure.
Okay, so we have another public function too, the finalize function. So if the crowdfund goal is reached and the person that began the crowdfund got all the money that they wish, or that they set initially, it's going to end the contract. So the way that it's going to do this, it's going to assert that the timestamp is greater than or equal to the deadline, and the balance is greater than or equal to the goal. And if it is, it will self-destruct the contract.
So this is what you would call hard cap, correct?
Could you repeat that? This is what you would call what?
Hard cap. in ICOs.
A hard cap.
Yeah. So once the goal
yeah,
funding is
sure.
reached, you can't raise over a certain amount, correct?
Exactly. In this case, exactly.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. I mean, it sort of is beneficial to do something like that, especially if you think of it in terms of a blockchain, because everything on, at least on the Ethereum blockchain, costs gas or like actual money in order to do certain actions. And so if you can minimize either like the amount of time that a program is elapsed or like the amount of times you deploy of contract and things like this, you'll save yourself some money. And yeah. And self-destruct is actually this is actually special to the Vyper programming language. Maybe we'll have another stream sometime elaborating on methods like this and self-destruct itself. So to close this out, this last method here will refund any of the money that was funded. Oh no, I'm sorry. So in the case that they don't reach the amount of money that the goal was, their money will be refunded. So if you're on GoFundMe and you fund it but you don't get enough money, they'll send you your money back. And this works similar. It takes exactly what I just said in code. If the deadline is elapsed and the balance is less than what the goal was, it will create a refund index and set it to itself. And then what this for loop here is doing is it's taking the refund index, and it's also taking the index plus 30. And if you look right here, that's because it's the 30 is the amount of people at a time that can be refunded. And in the, like what I was saying a second ago, this is for gas reasons. Yeah, you always have to keep gas in mind while programming Ethereum, because something in another language that could be as simple as like you mess up and might have to fix it. In Ethereum, it's real money and data on the blockchain that can't be changed. So you want to make sure to get it right the first time.
Now I know we're kind of at an advanced level here, and what we're talking about is really granular. But some people may be finding like Ethereum a little bit different. I know. I guess it's like, sometimes you have cross developers that aren't as familiar. Can you just briefly talk about gas and maybe just touch on it?
Sure. Okay, so gas. An Ethereum contract, Ethereum is a blockchain similar to Bitcoin. With Ethereum, the idea is that instead of Bitcoin where you only have an exchange of value, with Ethereum, you have a whole ecosystem for building Bitcoin-like apps. And what this means is that these apps will be decentralized, they'll be transparent, they'll be cryptographically secure, and things like this.
Sure. Absolutely.
So if you have your Ethereum contract, let's say you're writing it in Solidity, which is the most supported programming language for Ethereum, you write your contract up by magic. And once you have your contract written up, you need to deploy it to the blockchain if you want it to be transparent and if you want it to actually be live on the system, which is the Ethereum blockchain. And in order to do this, you need gas in order to deploy your contract. So it's not free to utilize a decentralized system transaction of value where anybody in the world can send financial value to somebody else anywhere in the world with a very low cost. And for it to be cryptographically secure, this costs money, and that's what gas tries to achieve. It's basically just funding the mechanism of the Ethereum network.
Yeah, the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, basically is what is carrying out these smart contracts, right, at the end of the day. So it costs money.
So once you deploy your Ethereum, if we go to Etherscan, once you deploy your Ethereum contract, that high-level code of Solidity, which is easier for like a programmer to understand, it's not easy for the computer to understand. So it takes that high-level code and it converts that down into a few different things. One of them is bytecode. And what bytecode is like a huge block of numbers and characters describing what the high level Solidity code is doing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so computers communicate in numbers. So with a big block of numbers rather than something that kind of resembles English with some like variables and stuff, numbers are way better for a computer to understand than words.
Sure.
Another thing that the EVM does is it takes your Solidity contract and it generates JSON or an ABI.
Mm-hmm.
And an ABI is similar to a JSON data format, and it will basically take all the objects and the methods of those objects in your, or so to speak, they're not exactly objects, but take the objects and the methods of those objects and put it in a format that is structured, consistent, and it's easy if you don't want to go into the technicalities of how Solidity works and all that jazz, you can get just like an outline of what the code is doing, and what methods it has and what structs and things like this.
Can I pause you for 1 second right there?
Yeah, a bunch of programming jargon.
I'm actually, we do have a Discord server, so if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about what we're doing right now,
ring those bells.
You can see right here in the hashtag live streaming section on Discord. And if you can't find it, just go to twitch.tv/ForkedBlock, which is one of our live streaming platforms. You can actually hop on there and join Discord on that link. You can also find it, on our Twitter or wherever you might, find one of our properties on social media. But Discord's a really great place to talk about this kind of stuff. So if you're a little lost or interested in, smart contract development, Eric and I, we got Crypto Gal, we have, John May, we have Harris here. We're all on there, and we're trying to grow a community that basically is open in training Solidity developers and also, blockchain developers as a whole. So we're really open to working with people, and, definitely check out our hackathons, support our sponsors like Bitcoin Energy, who hooked us up with, plenty of canned drinks to keep us going.
Can you tell me more about the hackathons we do?
Yeah, sure. So we have them across the country right now. First one is in Raleigh on October 27th. We're still looking for the venue for that, but we're thinking, definitely some solid candidates like the local colleges and stuff that we've been discussing. We have one coming up on the 15th in Austin. I would have to double check the date for Denver, but I didn't know if you knew off the top. Is it the 28th, Eric?
I think it's the 27th.
27th in Denver. And then the largest one that we're really going to try and swing for the fences for is in San Francisco, and that is at the end of January. You can find all those on Eventbrite. Just Google or search on their search bar, just ForkedBlock, and you should see all 4 events depending on where you guys are. And you can register for free. The investors, the company that want to recruit these people, obviously we charge for the tickets on that side. But if you're just a single shop, you want to show up, you want to have some fun, learn some things, and compete, get a chance to win some prizes, definitely you should register with us, and we can give you the rundown.
Something that we've been trying to do is really have these streams come out and kind of show what is going to happen in real life as well, because we have a lot of great content we want to put out there. Just we have a lot to say and a lot of questions to raise a brand new cutting edge.
All right, I'm sorry to interrupt, Harris. I just wanted to
No, I think I would like to add something there too.
Sure.
ForkedBlock supports developers, and I think it's something that's really hard to come across. You might find a lot of recruiters saying, yes, we love developers, we support them, and a lot of different actors will say that as well. But at the end of the day, our hackathons are free for developers because we wish to grow the community in a positive sense. And yeah, any sort of growth from the people that like to create these things or maybe don't know about it and want to learn how to create this is great. So that's what we're all about at ForkedBlock.
Companies need blockchain programmers so bad. They can't find anybody.
Go on Hacker Noon. You'll find like articles by the dozen about how in demand blockchain programmers are. Look at salaries and things like this. Even big companies like IBM, Google, Walmart, big companies are utilizing blockchain in their infrastructure, and they'll need people to do those jobs. So if you don't know how to do this and maybe you're a little bit interested, now's the perfect time to learn if you really want to set yourself up for a successful career.
You know, it's good to get your hands dirty with us. We're going to be doing command line stuff. There's just two notes. One, don't be afraid to break something, and two, never use real money. That's it. Like,
that's what a lot of what we're doing is trying to test nets.
Just use test nets.
Test nets.
Don't make the mistake of spending you'll never get it back. Never. So just don't make sure, you know, like, don't be afraid to break it, but definitely ensure if you're using Ethereum or something like that, spin up a virtual machine on, like, VirtualBox.
This is not investment advice.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, that's like, just don't use real money. When Bitcoin first came out, I didn't know how to spin up a testnet, and it was pretty cheap. I definitely used some. So, long story short. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, and so especially if you're just listening to half the things I'm saying and you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with hashes and message.sender and all these blockchain terms, please either come into the Discord or join us in person, because having these social interactions in like a new concept that you don't know about will accelerate your learning so much more than just sitting in your room and hitting away at the keyboard.
Yeah.
If you really want to learn something and develop a wide breadth of knowledge, you need to get out there in the world and interact with people that are trying to do the same thing. And I think with that, I can go back into like Vyper and Ethereum shit.
Yep. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
No. So in the meantime, I opened up Remix, which is an online Solidity development environment, just to show you guys something quick. So this is a simple contract right here. You don't really need to worry about the details of this contract. I just want to show you how the EVM works on a high level scale. So I'm just going to take my contract here. If I go to the compile menu, I can choose the compiler version that I'm using. Ethereum has its own compiler. I'll use this version. And what I also have here, I can copy the ABI to my clipboard, and I can copy the bytecode to my clipboard. So if we want to see what that looks like real quick, we can do that.
Yes, we do.
Come on, VS Code. Okay, great. And then let me get the other one as well, so we can do it on one screen. Ooh. Whoopsies. Okay, so
what are we looking at right
on
now?
the top here, I have the bytecode. There's all this jazz, there's opcodes. If anybody is a computer science student or just interested in the field, this probably looks a lot similar to assembly language. And what that is these commands are directly communicating with the internals of the computer. So this push command is actually talking to, I always get the two confused, but this is talking to the CPU, and these are directly giving commands to the CPU. So this push command, the 0x80 address that comes after it is actually an address of a register in memory about the internals of your computer. So, or regarding the internals of your computer. So all of these are communicating with the most basic components that make your computer do the things that it does on a daily basis.
Yeah. Cool. So this is some real low level stuff, like real low level, like almost machine code.
And then we have the ABI here. Like I said, this probably looks a lot similar to JSON. We have some main methods, and we also have the properties of those methods. So it's payable, it's not payable, state mutability, and things like this. Moving on.
Cool.
So
nice.
We also have a Vyper online compiler, which does the same for Vyper that Remix does for Solidity. And
that's
I would encourage
what
you guys.
I was wondering. Yeah.
Yeah, I would encourage you guys to go to Vyper.online so you can look at this. It's really great because you can they include a bunch of pre-made contracts from the gate that you guys can look at. This one's an ERC20 token. This one's Solidity compatible. That's pretty cool. And the one we're looking at right now is Vyper token, Vyper coin rather, which is super cool.
Oh, and can we go through that? That seems.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We can even compile it and look at the bytecode, which is a huge block of nonsense. and the ABI, which is another huge block of a little bit more legible nonsense. Yeah, this is actually really great. I mean, even though it says experimental right here, it looks great in my opinion. There's also this LLL, which I actually discovered this today. I believe LLL is an implementation of Solidity, but it differs from Solidity. So if you guys want to know more about that, just look up LLL/Solidity, and you can find some more stuff about it. I'm a little bit out of my depth to be talking about that on a live stream, but you could say that again.
Upcoming, future discussion.
No,
about
LLL is sick.
Tune in next week to find out about that.
Tune in.
Yeah.
Honestly, LLL is pretty. When we talk about low level, it's really in the name. It stands for low language.
Wait, what does it stand for? Low level language?
That's funny.
Yeah, and it's a lower level language than Solidity. Yeah, we can definitely. I think we should have.
Yeah, I think I'd actually love to go into this at a later time because I'm interested now.
Because
it's funny. I joked to Eric a couple of days ago that people that do assembly as their career or have a passion for assembly and low-level languages, like, you have to be a true sadist.
Live in basements.
I don't know who that person is. I've yet to meet them, but
They work at Qualcomm in San Diego, man. That's like there's so many people just.
You definitely need a passion for it. Most definitely.
That's like coding Bitcoin pen and paper.
That's so funny.
I don't know why you would ever want to do it, but whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, man.
Or whatever, I guess, whatever skill. If you don't have people making tools on the lower assembly line, then
oh, of course, it wouldn't work
you
if we
can't
didn't
achieve
have
those
this.
speeds, you know.
I just don't think that's me. That's all.
Oh yeah,
Although
it's not me either.
It's just like I was coding some SQL code today. I consider that similar. It's just
Hey Adam,
boring,
is there any way?
man. It's boring.
Hey, Adam,
it's cool, but it's boring.
Is there any way you can squeeze you down so we can see the code?
Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me post this in the Discord real quick.
I'm making myself bigger as well.
I'm gonna post this in here in the general. I'm also gonna post it in Campus Coin project. Let's see what that looks.
You got
Morty.
You got that burp on stream.
No, we got burps on stream. It's really not that big of a deal. We got like burps,
folks.
We have classy burps.
Farts on
Oh, nice.
stream,
Discord spam. This is great. I love Discord spam. It's my favorite thing.
Oh yeah, there is like a bunch of things on Discord. Can you post the spam to chat so I can spam it in other chat rooms?
Yeah, I posted. So hold on, I'm gonna take down this Discord thing. I'm also shrinking myself down so you can see it. Do you want me on the other side?
Yeah, just
of the
squeeze
screen?
yourself down because I think you're literally right where the code is.
Okay, let me change the Discord thing off and move myself over to the other side of the screen.
Yeah.
And then
because
I will
this thing is cool, but not as cool as just you.
Let's just roll in the video while we're waiting too. So. Yeah, that would be awesome. Come have fun with us. It's awesome. All right, here we are. Ooh, that went over my face.
Ooh, I'm Animenka.
It was not the right place.
You're so Animenka.
Yeah, we'll have more motion graphics for everybody. We're really gonna be dabbing it up for everybody. As production production quality will increase over time. I'm telling you this right now, but we are working on it.
You can tell.
Iterative.
It's pretty good. This is the really all I need is you and some Python, and then we're good.
I want to know
if the crop here. If we can get any better than this, we're set.
Yeah, I think you should actually start making.
You cut out.
Oh, I'm saying like the most crucial moments.
Okay, so
yeah, I was gonna say you should just make fun of the code because you're just like looking at it. You can like touch it.
We do want to host a virtual hackathon as well. So join the Discord if you're interested in that. We can set a date for it, and we'd love to do it. We can get some sponsors on board to help support that as well. But we would do
Sponsors
probably
on chat.
Yep, we can do that. So that'd be awesome. If anybody wants to sponsor that or participate in it, just let us know. Join the Discord, ping us, let us know. All right, continue on.
I'm starting to share it in the Python program, the communities that I'm in right now.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, let's keep.
We should be getting some more viewers in the moment.
Yeah,
there's an influx.
You guys need some. You need some green screen and webcam so we can do this. We gotta.
Well, I can use the one at Mirrors actually, probably.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I wanted to leverage.
I mean, I kind of wanted to have a School of AI meet up there if I'm still working with him in like November or whatever.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, me too.
A great idea.
I'm actually wearing my School of AI shirt right now. Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Awesome.
I can't even tell what you're wearing.
All right.
I'm actually wearing a dress.
There's nothing wrong with that. This is 2018. Okay, continue on, man. You were really plugging along before I stopped you.
All right, so anyway, moving on from dresses, and what I'm wearing.
Decorators in Python.
Decorators.
That'd be like the perfect transmission. Be like, oh well, now we're gonna talk.
Decorators in Python.
Which is actually what I'm noticing right there.
Yeah, so I mean, you could talk about that if you like, or I can just go straight into it. But this is actually a Vyper implementation of a basic ERC20 token, which is super neat.
For people who are listening in, can you describe what ERC20? Since we're on chat, you know.
Yeah.
For bonus points, describe it in the least amount of terms and make it as simple as possible.
For bonus points? No, I'm asking you.
Oh, me?
I could get bonus points. You want me to get bonus points?
Can I get the bonus points? Anyway,
yeah, you can definitely get the bonus point.
All right, I'm cashing out. The ERC20 standard is a set of framework. It's a framework and a set of rules and abilities. Let me start over. Okay, on Ethereum, you can build a bunch of different applications, and if you think about Ethereum, some popular applications in Ethereum, you might say Golem, which is distributed computing. You might say Augur, which is a predictive, what do you call it? It's a predictive
marketplace, yeah.
It's a predictive trading market, so you can bet on future events. There's lots of them. There's CryptoKitties, where you can collect these unique kitties. And so in the Ethereum ecosystem, there's a couple different versions of what do you call it? I'm getting myself all cut up here, but at a basic level, all an ERC20 token is a set of rules and standards for an exchange of token exchange.
Okay.
For an exchange of token exchange. For token exchange on the Ethereum blockchain. So if I have my Dogecoin, Dogecoin is an no, I'm sorry.
Actually, Dogecoin has a mainnet.
Yeah,
Dogecoin actually got so popular that I'm pretty sure they started like developing like mad. Like I think they actually have like code behind it and shit like that.
Yeah, no.
Don't sleep on Dogecoin, folks.
Dude. Don't sleep on it. No, we should definitely. I want to get Dogecoin in here for an interview.
Oh, I would love to interview Dogecoin. I'm their biggest fanboy.
Yeah, dude, Counterparty, Doge Party, Counterparty. Do you remember that?
I don't even. Excuse me, one sec.
Yeah, if I think people, it might get to a point where have smart contracting on Doge, and that would be the game ender.
Ideal smart contracting on Doge. Okay, so
it would be ideal.
There's some people that we know and like around the community. One of them is Zap.org, big fan. I like Nick Spanos. His whole team's nice. Definitely check out their website, check out their docs. We're going to be doing some
that's something that
stuff.
we're churning out over the next week, is that we're going to be bringing out a lot of content. The idea behind everything that we can do to try to solve the idea of calling external data in the form of oracles inside your smart contracts is like one of the biggest issues in hand for I guess just in general when it means for decentralized communications, because I think that's what we're all about, is like making at least that new emergent design pattern of to make sense.
I'm 100% on board with that. I think true decentralization is going to require, these data feeds. But I'm going to move on a little bit here because I love Zap and we talked about them a little bit. We're going to be trying to coordinate something with them and bring on their team members to live hack in Oracle because I tried to do it last time and it was a poor attempt. Audio, internet cut out. Long story, but we're going to do it again.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, and then ERC Dex. I know Luke Autry and their team. They've been working really hard on this platform. It's a decentralized exchange. Show them some love. We're big fans of it. We love decentralized exchanges. There's a lot of them out there, but personally, I've met these guys. I really like what they're doing, and I think they put a lot of time and effort into their code, which is really important. Another one, like we mentioned, Bitcoin Energy. I'm going to keep shilling them because I love them. But Bitcoin Energy, you can just go to bitcoinenergy.com. 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 You can order a couple cases, get a subscription, stop buying Red Bull. They give you wings. And guess what? Bitcoin Energy gives you Bitcoin. So that's legit. You have an affiliate program. You can refer your friends and get them on, and it's just another way to help support the decentralized community, which we're all about.
Yeah, actually, it's been growing like my favorite drink as of late because I think it's when they say healthy, like I definitely feel still more hydrated. Yet I have like the energy that I want, so it's been pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Who else do we like? Who else should we holler at?
Who else we like? We like the Python community. Actually, right now I'm going inside the Python and trying to drum up some attention for Python in general, and I'm in here.
We just took a shill opportunity, so it was
shill opportunity.
What did I was only
shill opportunity.
Shill up. All right.
Let's have a word from our sponsors.
It's really hurting me to hold back all the inappropriate things I'd like to say in the stream, but we're gonna keep.
We're PG-13.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. Exactly.
PG-13 meaning programmers that are 13 years old. We're kids.
I'm literally 12. So.
Yeah, let's talk about.
So you mentioned decorators. So could you actually expand on? Actually, no. I think I can cover the concept of decorators. So we have something called transfer here, and it has an event, and the event is taking a couple different parameters. Whoops. Oh shit! I just fucked that up. Okay, there we go. So the parameters are from, to, and value. So, of course, if you need to transfer something, where's it coming from, where's it going to, and how much is it? The decorators, in this case, would be... What would the decorators be in this case, Eric? You did mention them.
Eric, you there?
Eric is no longer with us.
Okay, what was your question? Decorators?
Yeah, he mentioned that it's all right. He mentioned that this covered decorators, but it's not too deep. So, moving on, we have an approval event, which is the opposite of the transfer. No. We have an approval event for the token. We have the event is calling through different parameters, just like before: the owner, the spender, and the value. So who's going to approve the transfer, who's going to spend, who's spending the money to transfer the value, and how much value it is again. Okay, so we're going to declare the variables of our token. Our token has a name. This is a public variable. Anybody can see it. And this is of type bytes 32. And I think another thing worth mentioning about the Vyper programming language is it takes the density and the... I can't find the word right now, but the obscurity basically of the type system in Solidity. You have UN in 256. So many different types of period in Solidity. It's super complicated, and one of Vyper's main principles is to simplify the type system. So
standardize
we could also
that's
go into that at a later point.
Super handy, and that's something that I like about in general. That sometimes when you're just trying to write code, you want to be able to just rely on being able to generate your variables without too much granularity.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been spending your whole life programming, you love the intricacies of programming, such as type and scope and things like this. I mean, this might like drive you wild, but in Solidity, in Solidity, but at the same time, too much complexity ruins the whole pot. And so, even if you're an advanced programmer, simplicity is key. Which is why the type system is an improvement up from Solidity.
This looks a lot easier to be honest.
It's way easier to read. Way easier to read.
This
is actually my first time seeing this.
My Python game is mad weak, but after like seeing you guys writing Python, I think I'm gonna double down on it. Cause...
Dude, Python gets my dick hard.
Dude.
It does.
Decorate that. Decorate your dunder, bruh.
Dude, oh my god.
So we have the total supply, which is a public variable of type UN56, 256. We have the decimals. What the decimals is if you think of US dollar, you have dollars and cents. That's the amount of decimal places determines how many I guess subunits you would call it of the currency that you have. You also have the balances, which takes type address. And what we have here, allowed, it's of type UN256, and it takes 2 addresses here. So I suppose the 2 addresses, one of them would be for the transfer, and the other one would be for the approval.
True.
Yeah.
And that's something that's interesting about, can we go back to definitions?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
It's interesting to see the declaration of variables inside that key value pair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's something that
I think I actually didn't. I wish I would have touched upon that. That's super. That's a pretty important concept here.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, so a key value pair. The keys would be on the left side here, and the values would be on the right. It's a way to store data. So if you want to access, there's gonna be, So. Okay, let's say instead of Vyper coin, I wanted to make Harris token or entropy coin or something like this. If you have a key value pair with the name, the symbol, the total supply, the decimals, all of these acting as an index to whatever values you're going to put in here, all of these values can be changed for whatever coin you're making. But all of the indexes here, these really are not changing no matter what kind of token you're making on the Ethereum system.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
because it kind of reminds me of mapping inside of the Solidity programming language. Because really, they're just like a key value.
So a lot of these things, these are considered frameworks, right? So these are like things that you are.
Well, Vyper, yeah.
Yeah. So these frameworks are, if you're familiar with something like, like Angular's framework. Like there's certain languages that are like frameworks and languages, right? They become like a language where you communicate with them in a long term. What's starting to happen in blockchain is people are starting to become more standardized. Like you see EPM as a package manager, and now you see obviously like Python coming about, and it's really becoming robust and developed. And you're starting to see some of these other things get fed in, and that's like where these standards get adopted, the systems just get better. We're learning new stuff about blockchain and how it interacts every day. There is still a lot of talk about like scalability, all these other things, but long term, as we build more coders out and more people are focused on, we're going to solve these little problems, and in aggregate, it's going to make the whole community better. So Vyper is a perfect example of how you don't actually have to bang your head against the wall with just trying to name things that are getting confusing and pushing the code changes, having a million errors. All of this stuff is now standardized, where you can now rapidly scale and develop decentralized applications and smart contracts very easily. Right, Eric?
I mean, technically, sorry, Adam. Rather.
Yeah.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I wasn't interrupted. I was finished. You came in.
So, I think it's super important. Not everybody, like, I know I'm repeating myself here, but everybody doesn't have to be a programmer, and the reality is everybody is not going to be a programmer.
Sure.
But everybody, if you're in a contractual, if you're in a contract with somebody else, you want to be able to read what the terms of the contract are that you're investing in.
Yeah, and
So you don't need to be a programmer to look at this token, see the name of the token, the symbol, the total supply, and all this stuff. I mean, as you go down the list here, it starts to get into some Python loops and some functions that are from Python. But really, at a high scale, if you're anybody that's not a programmer, this is miles ahead of solidity if you're just gonna try to dive in and understand what it is you're looking at.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna. Me, I don't have a background in Vyper. I've checked it out maybe like a year and a half ago when I was looking to settle in on like something to develop on Ethereum. It's so much easier to read. It's like just even now, if I don't know anything that's going on with this, then I can actually see what's like. Oh, okay, like balance of transfer.
it's important.
And it's so esoteric.
I think, yeah.
It's
I think
important
I still
too
have
to.
this-
Sorry.
No, please go.
It's important too to realize that like coding is a
Can you zoom
language,
in a little
just
bit?
like English, Spanish, but it's probably the most important language. The way I like to consider computer programming is very similar to like just general literacy rates in America in the 1950s, 1940s. We saw a stark increase, and it's literally going to become a part of everybody's life in some capacity or another. Like you're going to interact with code more and more because it's like how we're communicating with people. Whether you're, it's a big part of our
Yeah, we
commerce.
live in a digital world.
Yeah, we're going to have to communicate with computers better and better to help them, solve problems, move forward. Things like, for instance, like, you might not have any interest whatsoever in developing smart contracts, but as like mass adoption occurs and blockchain, becomes more prevalent in your everyday life, which the three of us, I can guarantee you believe that it will be a large component of it. You're going to want, like Harris said, to be able to read these things because the implications are really huge. You don't want to enter into contracts with other people and come out on the short end of the stick. And I'm sure there's going to be like all these different things that come out of it, but it's a good thing to know because it's a very valuable space. I mean, some people are coming out of college.
Yeah, not everyone's a lawyer. They want to know the law.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That was the best way.
It's kind of like what's
Duty
going
as
on,
a
you know?
citizen.
Yeah, it's like digital citizenship. I'm like, yeah, we might be working towards a world where we don't have borders and sovereign states, it's like self-sovereignty, or at least being able to create identity inside of the new decentralized web. It's like you're pretty much, if you don't know how to read code, I've actually for maybe a year and a half an after-school program in Philadelphia, and basic literacy to me was like, okay, what are these third graders going to come out to learn? The first it's on the list is Python,
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi,
Yeah.
MIT
it's
Scratch. MIT Scratch
can
is
attest
like
to
a
that.
really fun. I think that was like one of the first things that we started streaming was Adam playing a copy of Fighting to Freddy made on Scratch.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty funny because it's dialed directly into the zeitgeist of at least post-millennial people. So
Yeah.
if you're in third grade, second grade right now, the use of cryptocurrencies and outside the purview, they'd be like, oh yeah, how do you use hot water? Oh yeah, I got my key. Like,
Yeah.
hold on to that stuff that lies.
I know for a fact that kids younger than third grade are interested and know Python programming. The people that are going to be designing the decentralized infrastructure for the future, they're into Python, they're into Ruby, they are already doing this type of thing. So if you try to put them into a language that's like such a world, like these kids already have these skills. So if you can tailor a financial programming language to those parameters, like it's kind of like limitless.
Kind of like over it at that.
Yeah. So it's interesting too, and I guess like if I was gonna give one more shout out, it's like to Raspberry Pi and Arduino.
Arduino.
Yeah, Arduino.
Yeah, sponsor
because
us.
yeah,
I love you.
Yeah, for sure. We'd love to get sponsored.
Let me get some pies.
I will do literal physical hacking and build robots.
I'll make my own hardware wallet.
Yeah, we could do
I'll
that.
make a robot that like drinks a beer and then burns an ERC 721 token because he drank it.
Yeah.
We'll make a pie that sings our ForkedBlock song.
We'll do all kinds of things. Okay, we don't know. We don't have a song yet. Let's not make promises we can't keep. I'm not a composer.
We'll make our pie go to the moon.
Yeah, but so there's this component that you're. Eric, this component that you're talking about, though, like seriously, though, like your kid can have a computer, not go on the internet, not be affected by all this other stuff. You can keep it offline with these Raspberry Pi devices. If you buy like one of the older versions without a Wi-Fi card or whatever, and you just want to familiarize your, son, daughter with programming, it's really it's
first, second grade, they're on that stuff.
Yeah, you can hook it into a crappy TV, get it set up. They're on it. They can. Type it up, and I'd love to do some work.
Bam! They got a bash shell.
Yeah, you can get
something else where we're gonna try like a bash intensive. Like how can bash? You try to get everything from the bash command line to get information from the blockchain and whatnot.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think similar to that is like I know we're all over the place here, but what we were talking about before. I mean, if you think about the digital ecosystem, and if you think about the digital ecosystem and like perhaps like the iOS App Store in particular. You have an app store, and a bunch of people are like putting their own apps in the app store, and I think the whole digital computer community is moving to the point where you're building applications specifically tailored for whatever your project is, to avoid redundancy, to avoid like too much complexity. It's in the same way that like the personal computer and cell phone revolution occurred. Like everybody wanted their own device, and it's like all about like an individual and all that shit. I think applications are also moving like to that sort of like philosophy as well, where you have an application and it's built to make your project work from the ground up.
Yeah,
because that's like what we're trying to do here. Like, what are we looking at right now?
Yeah, I actually think I have 5 more minutes, so I'll do a quick ending here, or you guys can continue when I have to go.
We're probably gonna cut it. We're probably gonna cut it and do another one a different time because this
I feel you. I mean,
let's just look at do a stare compare, and then I'll do a Python blockchain project right now.
So what you guys were looking at while we were talking and philosophizing is this is a Solidity contract for an ERC20 token. ERC20 is just a transfer of value token on the Ethereum blockchain. If you're wondering what an ERC721 token is, it's a non-fungible token, which would be in the example of crypto kitties. And instead of every token being the same, so you can transact it with anybody and the value is standard, they're uniquely identified so that you can collect them like baseball cards or something. Anyway, this is a Solidity ERC20.
That is a very good explanation.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And this ERC20 contract is super complicated, so you can't understand any of this shit. Isn't that?
I like how, and Solidity, dump.
It's shit. If Vitalik didn't create it, I don't want it.
But didn't he have like a lot to do with the beginning of it?
I mean, he I don't know, man. I don't know how much he had to do with.
Just get him on chat. Like, Vit's computer in, get him in chat.
Yeah, just call up. Let me call him up. I think I have him on dial.
Actually, I think Jesse's gonna go take a trip to what is it, Ethos San Fran.
Better take a picture with Vitalik.
I know. I really want him to, so we can.
We need to get that on a T-shirt.
Get some love.
Him having a picture with Vitalik on a T-shirt. I wear that.
No, you ever see the meme with Vitalik and he has like a...
Yes.
Oh, shout out to Bizanacci.
I'm glad you had to get going. Like, shout out to Vitalik, the Wonder Boy. Shout out to Bizanacci. Shout out to my mom.
Yeah, shout out to Bizanacci. Can we get him on chat?
I want to get Bizanacci. If anybody knows Bizanacci, definitely hit us up. That guy's
I think he's like Satoshi. Like, I don't think he actually exists.
Dude, yes, Master. That was the funniest thing ever for Bogdanov. I was dying.
Funny story. Before I joined ForkedBlock, I actually considered joining the Bizanacci crew, but I don't know if I have what it takes.
Alright, let's wrap this up. Let's talk about the ERC crowdfunding contract.
I mean, honestly, I have to go. But,
Okay.
The ERC crap. Yeah. So yeah. Shout out to those people. Vyper, do it.
Yeah,
Dump it.
that's great, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for breaking it down for us, man. It's a pretty cool little project, man, and I'm like all about it. I'm gonna have to start playing around with it a little bit more.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. We'll iterate on this process. So next time we'll design our own Vyper contract from the ground up, so you guys can have a first-person experience in the coding of Vyper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a super plan.
All right.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
Eric, you want to do anything else, or you want to call this
Yeah,
one?
I was gonna just maybe do the first to blockchain for all, and just kind of make it like a series.
Oh, it's trippy. Blockchain for all? What do you mean?
Blockchain for all is the name of the workshop, but basically when I'm
Oh, yeah. Okay.
what I've been trying to do.
We want to do that at a different time. We could save it for another time. This has been like an hour. I know I have.
Yeah, we're going for like an hour, 2 hours. You good?
Yeah, I'm good for right this second. I mean, if you want to cut it short here, that's okay. Or do you want to save your blockchain for all for the next live stream that we do, or did you want to just roll into it?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, we should let's take a second, take a break, and back on.
Hop back on later. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, everybody definitely check out our events one more time. Go ahead and shill it. October 27th, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Roll the video, boy.
Yeah, and November 15th, we're in Austin. That's we're working on all these different projects. We also have Denver coming up on the 27th. Eric, November 27th or 28th?
Yes.
28th, 27th. Which one is it?
27th, I believe.
Let's see what the Thursday is. Let me double check. It is the last week. It's the 29th, Eric. 29th.
29th. All right. Well, yeah. Let's get the let's post it in chat and just make sure that we have the dates lined up.
Join the Discord. It should be, if you're on Twitch, right down there. And if you're not, I'm going to post immediately after this video and update it. So definitely make sure to join our Discord. Ask us any questions that you might have. Here is our little hype video for Raleigh. And here we are. That's going to go over my face because it's in the wrong spot right now. But doesn't really
He's
matter.
a pro attacker. His name is Adam Manka. He's ForkedBlock.
All right. So it was a good stream today. We're going to try and continually improve the quality. Anybody that wants us to hack their code sponsors, definitely reach out. We are looking to work with teams and put together a project, show people how to do things. I know we've discussed it with Zap and a couple other projects. In the future, you'll definitely be seeing a Zap.org hack. Hopefully, we can coordinate something with ERC Dex as well. We've talked to them. Definitely check them out. There's plenty of other projects that we'd like to bring on, and we're kind of putting this out there. We should be doing a lot more interesting, I guess, nuts and bolts actually building applications. We have this really cool dApp starter kit. Eric, who's the one that designed that originally?
We have a GitHub user Zero Static shout out because it's super good.
Yeah, man, it's like you really don't need to know a lot. Essentially, all you do is you get your Ubuntu subsystem up running on your Windows PC. Future reference: don't ever use Windows. But you get this running. And
are we gonna go hard on the dApp starter kit? Because that seems like it.
I mean, I can clone it, right? I could literally clone this right now and build it. Like, it's not that hard. You want me to do it? I mean, okay.
No, yeah, totally do it. I love it.
The thing that takes the longest is actually.
Do you want to go ahead and stream?
I'm still streaming.
All right, cool. Yeah, I think that right after you do it, I want to do. I'll do.
I mean, I actually just installed it. Really, all you need is. Eric, what do I put for previous commands that I had in the command line. What is it?
Oh, is it like Control R? Yeah.
Control R. Okay. Git. Yeah. So here it is. This is a cool little function there. There you go. Git clone. Right. So let's just change the name. Actually, let's
Just hit a little space.
Move out of this.
Hit a space.
Move out of this
And I
directory.
think you can change the name of it.
Okay. Git. Let's Control R. That's a reverse search. You can pull up anything you'd like that you typed in the past. So let's just get Git. See, there you go. That's found. Okay, well that's already done. So let's go up here.
It already exists.
You want me to hit space? What do you want? What do you want me to change the name? How do I do it?
You can change the name by just hitting space and then a name. So you call it like name. So that's just like the general like GitHub thing.
So if you can't see that, that is basically GitHub or Git clone, and that's the command. You have to have Git installed on your PC. The Ubuntu subsystem is very easy to locate. Let me show you how to do that. So when you go in here, just click on that Windows icon, type in Ubuntu, and it should search
Be at the Microsoft App Store.
at the App Store here. And we click that, and it should open up like it did for me. Just go there, install this. There are some settings that you're going to want to do. To get it running, you have to enable a couple different administrative.
All you really have to do is make sure that you're on the Windows Creator Suite, which is basically version 1803. I think currently at time of stream, and if you're updated all the way up to that level, you can actually turn on developer mode inside of. You just do that in the Windows key search.
Yep.
And then you'll be able to install it after. It's actually kind of a convoluted process, but it'll get there.
Just type in developer mo.
Yeah, it's nice.
Should come up.
And
For
it's really
developers.
super nice to have Ubuntu underneath of it all, because a lot of the stuff that we like hack on, it really makes it easy to run it even if you don't know a lot of Linux command lines.
So anyways, you would simply just install that Ubuntu subsystem, which actually runs a Linux kernel, well, essentially what is Linux kernel, on your PC. So that will allow you to do all the command line tools to install this. You could also use the Windows command line. I would recommend definitely installing Git for Windows and using the bash if you're going to do that. And that's really easy. Just go to Git and download the tools, and I think it's MINGW64 is what you can install, and then you'll be using Linux commands on your Windows PC and be able to follow along here. So what we're going to continue on to do is actually just, I git clone this, so this is actually that project. It took all the information from the repository, put it on my computer, and what we are going to do now is yarn install or npm install, Eric?
Well, how about you just take a look at the directory and we can see and read it.
Okay.
Try to pull up what rain. Let's see what all the files are so we can make a high quality decision.
Okay.
So, okay, if we go back, so it's important to take a look, because if we're in the DAP starter kit, or name, just go to name. So let's go back. Yeah, name. Okay, cool. Yeah, so it looks like we have a lock file. Check it out with it.
I'm just going to use nano because it's simpler. But
Nano's neat. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so this looks like a really heavy file. Yarn, so it looks like we should do yarn install.
okay, so
We got yarn install, yarn start, and build productions yarn build.
yarn install, yarn start,
Yeah.
and yarn build. Yarn install. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it should
Yo,
be.
can you kill that live stream box? Kind of like in the way.
What live stream box? Oh yeah,
The
whoops.
live stream.
Oh, yeah, I
hashtag
see
live
that.
stream.
I see that. Yep. Let me.
There's some prime real estate.
Yeah, let's just hack on this code for a minute. Okay,
Nice.
so okay, yarn. I think, do you have to do npm install yarn?
Yeah, I think you gotta. Yeah, I think you can install yarn from npm maybe.
I did that last time. So you just do npm install, and let's just do a Martha story. Basically, what would happen here is you would hit.
Oh no, you don't want to do np.
I could cancel it.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, yarn install. Not found.
Let's
Okay.
see, I think it's like sudo get yarn install.
apt get install yarn, and this is just going to install the yarn package there for us.
Because you know what, it can really mess you up if you don't do that.
Well, I got it running with npm install the other day.
You got it wrong?
No, it ran. I don't know how.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yo, can you make your text nice and big, or does that not do that? Look at big and fat letters.
Okay, that didn't help. There we go. How about that? Is that good?
Yeah.
A little bit
Nice
better?
and fat.
All right,
Nice thick letters.
Okay, so now
Nice.
that we have yarn, we just do yarn install. Wait, actually, you know what I should do? I'm actually going
Yarn
to close
version, see if
out
it's
this
install.
because I know for a fact that this isn't running as an administrator and is going to cause problems.
Oh!
So, what you want to make sure you do is run this as an administrator every time. The reason is Windows will not allow you to do specific actions within the Ubuntu subsystem for some reason, and I have no idea why. It will cause a myriad of issues moving forward. So let's actually go to yarn, install. Now that it was installed, I reopened my window, and now we have error. Great. Oh, that's because I'm in the wrong directory. Yarn install. Damn. Error. No such file.
Is yarn do yarn version?
It's not recognizing yarn. Sudo apt. Good. Install yarn. Maybe I messed something up. Well, let's just try it again. Sudo apt. I know what I did.
What?
So this sudo apt get update will hopefully
Yo,
solve the
you
problem.
should put some break beats on, bruh.
No, didn't solve the problem. Okay, Eric, what am I doing wrong here? What do you see? Sudo.
We're just gonna go for npm if you're
Yeah, we can just.
finding the yarn's not working. So can you tell us about the hood?
What?
Talk about what's going on.
Oh
inside
yeah.
of-
So essentially, what npm is doing is it's checking the actual dependencies. I can actually switch it into another shell here. I probably should have did that within. Administrator. npm is going to check the dependencies. So what that looks like is, hold on, name. Okay. Okay, so Ranger, let's just do Ranger. So in here you have package lock, package JSON. You see some of these requirements to run this application are in this package. And what we are doing is we are going to install all of the dependencies like Axios, IPFS-Mini, React, React Bootstrap, all the important components to be able to run this app are listed here. Now, that being said, that will then reference, once we install everything properly, it's going to reference the actual source files. And this is where you're going to find, you know, not like the main part of your app. We have a truffle.js file, basically declaring, you know, essentially like a framework for the app here. Then going in here, I'm not the best, but as you can see, there is the migrations, which is a Solidity file. And then the details about your specific contract, and this is a boilerplate smart contract. So it's called the Dev Starter Kit, and this is going to give you front end to back end, everything you need to be able to deploy a very simple blockchain decentralized application. Moving back here, we have the build. Oh, did I already go over that? Migrations, contracts, build. Oh yeah, this is the build file for that. So this is your dev file, correct, Eric? Under contracts, and then your build file is what is compiled, right? Okay, great.
Neat.
And that's the ABI, correct?
Say one more time.
JSON. It's in a JSON format. Never mind.
Yeah, it's neat because a lot of copy and pasting happens when you're creating any type of interface to get your contract deployed, it's actually kind of a nightmare to use Geeth and parity nodes. Have you ever used one of them before?
Yeah, I've used a Geeth node. I built one all the way from the ground up using Go. I was building a testnet, I believe, and it was a huge pain.
It definitely is a huge pain, but I think that's why we talk about software as being a tool, because now Truffle is the answer in JavaScript. Like, hey, I wish I didn't have to use, what is it? The Selenium compiler's SOLC, which is the Selenium compiler,
Yeah.
Sulk,
I think, yeah.
and it, that just will take in your contract and it'll output the ABI, but it won't have anywhere to go. And if you look inside the Truffle folder hierarchy, you can see those the JSON files that you had there, store them nicely, and then it puts those in the correct place when you go to migrate.
So as you can see here, right above, you see going down, it is importing a lot of the important components. Like you see UPort at the top there from, you got Web3, and then of that, you have the utility UPort file. That is actually something that an individual can interact with via their smartphone to be able to sign transactions and verify that they are indeed, a party involved in a transaction. So you would scan and using your unique hash actually sign a contract and literally make that in writing. You send money to it, you can do a lot of things with it, but UPort's a very interesting tool. We'll get into that in a minute. If you're familiar with MetaMask, a lot of sites that are using decentralized applications, for instance, if you go to beta.foam.space, this is probably one of my favorite, you need some Rinkerby testnet coins to be able to interface with it, but that would, for you to be able to access that dApp, it would need you to have your MetaMask unlocked and open so you could sign transactions and interact with the application. So here is name. Let's see how we're doing on the install. It's still going, but
yeah, I think that one. That's what I was saying. Let's do a little deep dive.
Yeah,
it's a big app.
It is quite the big app. So actually, I already built one using npm install, and you can see here that this is like the oven thing we were talking about earlier with Julia Childs. It's like, hey, look, already built. So I had downloaded and installed this and got it running. I did not actually, I think, use the Truffle kit and install it. That's what the issue I was having. Eric, is there, you then have to initiate the smart contract via Truffle, correct? Because I didn't do that last time after I did npm install.
Yeah, I think that what is important is that you have a testnet running. So there's lots of ways for us to do that, and that we usually suggest is Ganache.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
That's like the really simple. And I think before certain, literally RPC. I've actually found some really cool Docker. So if you want to spin up functions immediately without at least installing it inside of a container, it's pretty.
Let's just show them how to use the dApp starter kit here with Ganache and spin that up and execute. So I can actually start this. How do I spin up a Ganache testnet, Eric? What's the first step?
I think Ganache is going to install in your npm. So we're just waiting right now.
No, I got a dApp starter kit right here. Remember?
Oh, okay. I mean, we'll see what we got. Well, I think you can just say Ganache.
Okay. What do you want me to do? Ganache?
Yeah, Ganache-CLI is.
No space? Ooh,
this is super nice. Let's check it out. What we got here.
Okay. I don't think I have the app up. This is getting installed. On the bottom, I'm gonna do.
Yeah, let's just look at the.
Oops, that's not the right thing. I have no idea what that file was that I just opened, but it's interesting.
Nice. Let's do it side by side.
So then I would go CD. Let's do. Yeah. Bam. Okay. And now I have to do npm start, right? So we have that one and that one. We have the testnet running
Let's
out.
take a look. Let's take a look at the testnet.
Yeah.
To see what it does and see what everything is.
1, 2,
Because there's some
7.
important concepts here.
0.1.
So right off the bat, you can see listing on localhost 8545 is pretty. It's an important idea because literally a little server that isn't hooked up to anything acts like actual.
Blockchain, if we all remember, is just a very large, inefficient server. So what we are going to pull up, it does a lot more than that, obviously, and has a lot of capabilities, but at the end of the day, that's really what it is.
At the end of the day, it's a really hyped linked list.
Okay, so on the far right there, you can see 127.0.0.1, and then port, which is the colon, 8545 is what we're running on. So really all you need to do to observe this testnet running is quite literally paste that exact address in there. Hit enter, and it should say bad request. Oh my god, what's going on?
No, actually, you would have to like ping it with Postman.
Yeah, so let me actually pull up Postman. A little rusty here. Okay.
We should. Is the server running or not?
Yeah.
All right, then you want to go to localhost 3. See what's popping, because that's like the coup de grace. It's pretty much like why we spin up the React app.
Log in with Uport. Okay, so now my phone is almost dead, but we are going to actually do it live. So let's see what's going on here. We are going to pull up the Uport application on our smartphone, and to show you exactly how the blockchain interacts, we are going to actually sign a transaction. So let me pull up my Uport. Oops, that's the wrong app. Let me pull up my Uport. There it is. Okay. So Uport, as you can see that, this is the Uport app.
Wow.
It's literally U and then P-O-R-T to get on. So now what we do is simultaneously click the login with Uport, and since we're running on the testnet, it says continue with Uport. Let's click that. It gives us a QR code, and in the application itself, as you can see, this is me, Adam Manka. I'm going to click that, and it is going to open up a QR code scanner, at which point I will hold it up to the screen, scan it, and my phone will die. Let me change out my battery real quick. Give me 1 second. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Here we are.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, you have a blockchain project, something like that, that you want us to hack, we will do that. We would love to work with more teams and check out their code. Like we mentioned, we keep bringing it up. It would be awesome to work with more people on this kind of collaborative live hacking and showing people how to use blockchain in a little bit more relaxed way. You know, I think it comes off, Eric, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of times like really top down, and people don't break things and do things and see mistakes really live. I think it's very useful for us to be able to do that, because it shows that, you know, not only that you know, we mess up too all the time. Me and Eric really have well, Eric's saying is actually like we just like to bash our heads against stuff until it works. Obviously we try to do smart things and get them working on the first time, but it's always trouble. So if you're getting frustrated, ping us in our Discord. If you're working on something, if you'd like us to hack on your code, or like to become a sponsor of us at ForkedBlock and sponsor one of our hackathons where you can find very talented developers, please reach out to us. You can do that at sponsors@ForkedBlock.com for any of those inquiries. Or myself, my email is adam@ForkedBlock.com. Eric is superposition@ForkedBlock.com if you like him more than me. You can always reach out there, but just keep that in mind. Eric, would you like to add anything before we move on to the Uport signing?
I'm just excited.
I'm really excited too. I want to see if this works because I couldn't get to work last time.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You can like, if I saw your screen or I saw the QR code, I can log in for you from here, which is very interesting.
Yeah, let me log in here. Okay, so I'm about to sign this. Once again, going to the Uport app now that my phone is fully charged.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Uport is like another extension, or I guess what they call spoke of consensus, and that there's lots of ways of gaining identity for Web3. And you
Again,
can see that the Uport app is like another way for you to gain access to the Web3
and I'm going to
tools.
sign this transaction right now, and it should interact, and bam, it signed it. It's going to ask me React Uport IPFS DApp, and I'm going to continue and sign this transaction, and it should realize what I'm doing and then give me the opportunity to now interact with the blockchain and the DApp, which is now running. Let's see if we can do that here. Last time I said, what's up, I'm dapping on August 3rd. Let's see what we should say today, Eric. ForkedBlock.
You should post. You should post the link, the Discord link.
Okay, let's go into here. Let's instant invite, and let's do edit invite link. And I'll make this a permanent link so that it never expires because I want everybody who's watching this to join. So,
I like how Discord knows you're streaming, so it keeps everything.
Yeah, Discord's pretty the truth. So our link is actually, and I will put this up so you can see it bigger here. Give me 1 second. I can actually do a text overlay, so let's just do that.
No, we're good. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so let's. Ooh, wrong way.
So
okay, that's
let's just
link.
really like tell people what's going on in the background. That really we have we don't have a lot of space on the Ethereum networks. Really, putting even that small message would actually cost a lot.
It should ask me to sign this if we did everything correctly.
Yeah, and really what we're doing is that in Ethereum we're just going to store a hash to its location on IPFS, which is like, it's pretty rock and roll.
Okay, Eric, it is not playing me.
That's because WrinkleB is slow. It's like,
how slow is it?
John's in.
Oh yeah, John May had joined up, so Triple J is in the house. How you doing, John May?
Pretty good.
We have been doing Vyper, now we're doing the DApp Starter Kit, and a very brief overview here. We should probably chop it up, actually. There's actually one other person that I have a very cool thing for. I'm waiting for this to come through. John May actually also has one of those nifty pop-up motion graphics. This is the only one I did it for. And I'll pop that up in a second. Okay, this is not working yet. Waiting on it, waiting on it, waiting on it. Eric, while we wait on this, how long should this take? Eric, you there? John, you still there?
I'm there.
Okay.
So what's going on?
No, we're just trying to sign this contract and commit some type of change to the blockchain here. Enter the details. My super tamper-proof data. There is data loaded from the previous one. As you can see there, it says, "What's up? I'm dapping." Right now, I'm just trying to sign this with Uport and get it working.
Yeah, it doesn't. Looks like something's going awry.
Mm-hmm. Should be good. I don't know why it's not. How does that even make sense?
Is this on like the test network?
Yeah.
Which one?
Let's double check. Actually, I can tell you that. Bam. Oh wait, I think I got it. New secure message.
Yeah, you can always just do it again. Run it again.
Well, it could be my phone too, actually.
There's a lot to this DAP, you know, so I think it's pretty important too.
You're gonna refresh it and try it one more time. Log in with viewport. Should do this really quickly one more time. Let's see if it works.
Well, yeah, let's get the.
Okay, signed it. Should go in. Communicating. Continue.
Communication. Wonder how many people are watching on Twitch. Let's check it out.
Probably not a lot.
I said we got like 190.
Discord, update details. Huh? 190 views, yeah.
Damn, we got 2 people watching on Discord. Oh yeah.
On Twitch.
Shout out to whoever's on Discord. I mean, not Discord. Or Twitch.
I was gonna say we have 3 people watching on Discord.
Okay, looks like I have the message that just popped up. It says new secure message. And it didn't let me sign it. I think this is
if you're watching on Discord, say something in chat. Let's get the chat going.
This phone actually isn't working. Like, literally, my phone is the issue here. This isn't, like, I can't actually verify the transaction. So this is working fine. However, my phone is not, because my phone is absolute garbage. As you can see, it's broken.
Well, how about you restart your?
Why don't you just sign it from your phone, Eric? Log in and sign it.
I don't even know where my phone is. That's a good question.
Does anybody have a U-port? Hey, anybody remote? Anybody have a U-port that would like to sign in and then verify transaction?
John, you should do it. Did you have a U-port installed?
I do. I just installed it, but I don't have any ether.
No, you don't.
No, you don't need to.
I don't need ether to.
No.
No.
So
Yeah, it's something you can install as yourself.
Let me use a different phone.
Did you make an identity yet?
I have more than one phone.
Yeah, I just downloaded the app and installed it and logged in.
Yeah, did you put like a little picture? I don't think I handled the error if you don't have a little picture.
I'm getting these Donald Trump warning emails that we got earlier on this phone.
What?
Yeah, did you get the presidential message?
No, I'm off the grid. I don't get those.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we talked about that.
Hold on, wait. Maybe I can just U-port this up. We had 3 in there at one point. How many people are watching? We got like 3
We had
people.
2 people watching
3 on
on
Facebook,
Twitch.
3 on Twitch. What's up, y'all? How's everybody doing? Make a comment. Say hi. Makes
Yeah,
us
ring
feel
those
good.
bells.
Ring those bells. What are we doing on YouTube? We got 1 watching. That's probably me. Hey, y'all. So yeah, I'm working on this. Let's just keep trying to see if this will work.
ForkedBlock.
Duport. I'll give you Duport.
They're live right now. Let's see where we're at.
I hashtag 5 Nights at Freddy's.
So I scan this barcode, it will.
Yeah, to log
Yeah,
in.
keep the barcode going, and then it'll ask you to sign it. Which is kind of cool that you can log in for somebody somewhere else.
Bam. Okay. What?
See, I told you.
What happens?
So there's unhandled errors. Like, did you make yourself like a?
Where's it, Gianna?
Why is this not working? What
Where's
is this?
Evan?
When you make your identity, you should put a picture.
Right. I don't know how to do that.
It's a little picture. Tells you like, hey, it's me.
Right, where do you do that in the app?
Oh, nice, you did it.
No, I'm doing it. This is me.
Cool.
I'm trying it again. Let me see if it works.
How do I add
Yeah.
a picture?
Okay, I'm gonna log you in. Here you go. Log into this.
You need a picture. You can use any old picture in your, just for.
How about Fractal George
Shit.
Costanza?
Yeah. If you got that on hand, hell yeah.
Let's do that. Verifications. Contacts. Why is this not working for me?
Yeah, why can you just close this crap out?
No, I'm trying it on my end, and then John's got this.
Bruh. Yeah, you go. Bruh.
Bruh.
Bruh. It's astounding that I can be on live stream for this long. This is actually, it feels natural.
Yeah, I mean, we do this every night. That's the weird part, and that's why we started live streaming it. Me and Eric.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I think that. Okay, we'll stream. We'll stream for like, I think we're halfway between, like we're an hour and a half. I think we can get to 3 hours.
Can we fix it? Yes, we can. I can't believe it hasn't broken out. This has been the most seamless live stream that we've run yet. I think we're getting it down. I wonder what the audio is like on it. Eric, can you mute yourself and then check the audio and tell me what it looks like?
No.
Okay. Or not.
All right, let me see. Let me, I'll come back.
What?
No, I'm looking for feedback. Can you log in yet?
You want me to try and log in?
Yeah, did you put a picture up? You can put any picture up for you.
Yeah, I put a picture up.
Yeah, try and log in. See if it works.
Yeah, my phone's trying to scan this address. And yes.
Alright, let's see what happens. Oops. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's try it again. One more time.
Why? What's happening?
Nothing, I think it was just expired. Eric, talk to me. Is the audio bad? Yeah, that didn't work. Okay. Audio stream bitrate. Eric, what does that even mean? No, that's my computer thing, 'cause it's working extra hard. Sample rate. Okay. Let me hear what's going on here. Let me check out this stream. Well, there's no doubt that I need an audio fix for this current stream setup I have, and that's probably the next thing that I'll work on. But everything else.
Hey, what?
Like we need I need like an audio thing to like basically handle the audio. That's like the #1 issue I'm having right now with our live streaming. Is we need to upgrade the actual audio, which is okay. It happens. Let me just hear this real quick. No, dude, it works. It sounds fine. Talk for me, John May. Talk.
Sure. What do you want me to discuss?
Anything.
Anything?
Dude, this is perfect. Yeah, man. I think it like on YouTube it sounds great. So I'm not really concerned about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Did we fix the audio?
It sounds great on YouTube, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I was just listening to it. I think it's not me. We have people watching. We're good. Okay. So I can't get this to log in, Eric. It doesn't want to cooperate. It doesn't like me. Eric, my blockchain's acting up. Okay, so
Wow, you said blockchain doesn't work? Wow.
my blockchain's not working.
Well, go yell at the blockchain. Let me see your manager. Ooh. You can't. Sorry.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, you want to see who? Yeah, about that.
Ooh. It's not going to be easy. So, as a side note, if you say or claim to be in blockchain space, there is one thing that I would like you to know about, and it is called decentralization. Basically, the transfer of authority from a central to local government, no, it's not what we're going for. we're going for decentralization in its most extreme way. Basically, there's no manager. Everything.
Yeah, let me see your manager.
No, there's no manager. Yeah, so I mean, this is all well good. That's like pretty much all I have. I mean, we could end it right here and do another segment, maybe in the next 2 days, because we have a lot of stuff going on. But Eric, when do you think our next stream should be? You want to do it tomorrow night?
Next stream.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go, boy.
You ready to go now?
Yeah, I'm thinking. Can you hear any background noise? Am I good?
It's horrible.
All right.
I think we just wait till tomorrow.
John, do you want to like go ahead and try to like rock and roll?
Maybe in a bit. I gotta do some preparation.
I say 2 hours is enough, man. We did pretty good today. I mean, if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm gonna blow up our Discord link. Basically, all you need to go to is discord.gg and then / this. Hold on. Let me get here, okay? Let's just go to google.com. This is our link. Please don't forget to join our Discord, talk to us, ask us any questions. We'd be more than happy to help whoever out. Sponsors at ForkedBlock.com for anybody who's interested in us live hacking their blockchain. Additionally, I am here with, earlier it was Harris Levine, and you can get in touch with him on our Discord as well. He will be there if you have any questions about Vyper. Eric Manganero, also known as Superposition, is on the line as well. Our third person that is on the line, his name is John May, and you can find John May on our Discord as well as Triple J. One more thing, just remember, please, if you are in the Raleigh area or the Denver area or the Austin area or the San Francisco area, we currently have 4 hackathon listings. End of January for the San Francisco hackathon. Please register. There's about 30 to 50, somewhere in that neighborhood, registered right now, but that is a couple months out. So that's going to be a big event. We want a lot of people there and a good showing, and it should be a good time. But the most immediate one, if you'd like to attend, is in Raleigh, North Carolina on October 27th. You will find my pretty smiling face there, as well as Eric's, and John May will be there as well as Crypto Gal and a bunch of other people. We'd love to have everybody come down that's in the area, or if you're coming from out and you feel like flying in, that's cool too. Also keep in mind that Austin is going to be a big event as well, and that is in November on the 15th, and then on November 29th, we'll be having another hackathon in Denver. So that's all for me. I will see you later. Eric, any last thoughts? John May, any last thoughts?
I didn't see most of it, so I can't have that much to comment on.
Yeah.
But Vyper sounds cool.
Vyper's sick. I'm eating Oreos.
You're eating Oreos? At the ForkedBlock team, Oreo, you want to sponsor us? I'm on board. We like our snacks, so I don't know whoever.
Yeah, you're like shilling Google pretty hard right now. It's bigger than you right now.
I'm not trying to show
Google.
Here, you know what, Google? You don't exist. Bye. More Google. More Google. All right. Well, anyways, I'll talk to you guys there. Closing out Postman. Closing out ForkedBlock. That way, up top. Definitely visit our website, ForkedBlock.com, to find those events. It's not the most pretty site, but it gets it done. Definitely register. I'll talk to you guys later. Signing off.